My brother proposed to my fiancée to prove that she didn't truly love. I've been with Sarah for 3 years, engaged for 8 months. We met in college, moved in together after graduation, and everything seemed perfect. She's smart, funny, ambitious, and we rarely fight about anything serious. When I proposed last Christmas, she cried happy tears and immediately started planning our wedding for next fall. My older brother Jake has always been the skeptical type. He's been through 2 messy divorces and constantly warns me about red flags and how women will show their true colors eventually. I usually just nod and change the subject because arguing with Jake about relationships is like trying to convince a flat earther that the world is round. But apparently Jake had been watching Sarah and me more closely than I realized. He started making comments about how she seemed too perfect and how no one is that genuinely happy all the time. He kept insisting that she must be hiding something or putting on an act to lock me down before revealing her real personality. The breaking point came during a family barbecue last month. Sarah was helping my mom in the kitchen, laughing at my dad's terrible jokes, and generally being her usual warm social self. Jake pulled me aside and said he was concerned about how quickly things were moving between us. "Look, man, I care about you," he said, cracking open another beer. "But something feels off about this whole situation. Sarah's too eager to please, too agreeable. Real people have flaws and baggage. She's either hiding something major, or she's going to flip the script once you're legally tied together." I told him he was being paranoid, and that just because his marriages didn't work out didn't mean mine was doomed. That's when Jake dropped his bombshell plan on me. "Let me test her," he said. "I'll make a move, see how she reacts. If she's really committed to you, she'll shut me down immediately and probably tell you about it. If she's not, well, better to find out now than after the wedding." I thought he was joking. Jake has always been competitive with me, but propositioning my fiancé seemed insane even for him. I told him absolutely not and to drop the whole thing. He nodded and said he understood, but I should have known better than to trust that he'd actually let it go. 2 weeks later, Sarah came home from work looking completely shell-shocked. She sat down on our couch and just stared at the floor for like 10 minutes before finally speaking. "Your brother asked me to marry him today," she said quietly. Apparently Jake had shown up at her office with flowers, gotten down on one knee in the lobby, and delivered this whole speech about how he'd always had feelings for her and couldn't stand watching her marry the wrong brother. He presented her with a ring that was significantly bigger than the one I'd given her and told her he could offer her a better life. Sarah said the entire lobby went silent. Her coworkers were recording with their phones. Security was called. It was a complete nightmare. But here's where Jake's plan backfired spectacularly. Instead of quietly rejecting him and telling me about it later, Sarah absolutely lost it on him in front of everyone. She told him exactly what she thought of his manipulative stunt, threw his ring back at him, and banned him from our upcoming wedding. Then she called my parents, my other siblings, and basically our entire extended family to tell them what Jake had done. She was so angry and hurt that someone would question her commitment to me in such a public, humiliating way. The fallout was immediate and brutal. My parents were mortified. My sister called Jake an idiot. His ex-wives started posting on Facebook about how this explained a lot about his character. Sarah's family, who had always liked Jake, now wanted nothing to do with him. Jake tried to defend himself by saying he was just looking out for me, but nobody bought it. Even I realized that his test was really about his own issues with relationships and maybe some jealousy that I'd found something good that he couldn't seem to manage. Sarah and I are stronger than ever now. Jake's ridiculous stunt actually proved to both of us how solid our relationship really is. He's not invited to the wedding, and honestly, I'm not sure when or if I'll be ready to have a real conversation with him again. The worst part is he still thinks he did nothing wrong.